Hello and welcome to Rathod's IS. Today in this video, we are going to see current affairs of 4th August 2023. So let's get started with our discussion and let us try to see brief introduction for the topics that we are going to discuss in this video. So for yesterday's questions, the best answer is given by Neetu Mohan. Congratulations and keep rocking Neetu. And now let us try to see the first topic. It is about making a riot. So this topic is important because it is related to internal security. So here this article which is talking about communal violence. So in which parts of our country or in which state we have this communal violence now? For example, in Manipur. So this is the issue between Metis and Kukis, and now between Hindus and Muslims there is a communal violence is going on in Haryana. So this article is important from your GS paper 3 under internal security, and here this topic is important from your mains, not from your prelims. And next topic is about age of consent. So this age of consent, it is a debate in India, and here you have to know about one important act, that is POCSO Act, that is Prevention of Children from Sexual Abuse Act. So here this act says that children, they are belonging to the till age of 18 years. So this is one cause of concern regarding this age of consent now. So here you have to understand what is this age of consent and what are the issues regarding this age of consent and what Supreme Court said regarding this age of consent. So whether we have to decrease this or not. So this is the question now. And this topic is important from your polity which comes in a GS paper 2. Here because we are going to talk about this POCSO Act. And next topic it is about coup in Niger. So this is military coup. Okay, military coup in Niger. So in yesterday's lecture I already showed you the map of Niger and your homework is, so please let me know which are the countries sharing boundary with this Niger. And you have to do one more work. You have to see terrorist organizations, they are working or they are going on in this region. So you have to let me know this terrorist organization and as well as countries which are sharing boundary with this Niger. And next topic it is about biological diversity bill. So here you have to know what is this biodiversity. So actually this biodiversity is one chapter in your environment and ecology. So you have to see what is this biodiversity. And please let me know what is this alpha, beta and gamma. Okay. So this is your next homework, students. And here recently we came up with amendments to this biological diversity bill. Biological Diversity Act. And we came up with this bill in 2021 and finally it had been passed. So here you have to see what are the changes that we are going to see and what is the criticism or what are the issues regarding this bill. So this topic is important from your both mains and prelims, and this is important from your environment and ecology. And next topic is over 9 lakh trees likely to be axed. Axed means nothing but cut down. They have to be cut down for Great Nicobar project. So you have to understand. So what is this Great Nicobar project? So first of all, you have to see map of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, where they are located. And already the question in 2014 appeared in your UPSC prelims regarding this map location of Andaman and Nicobar Island. And one more thing is you have to see which projects that you are coming up. For example, you are coming up with airport. We are coming up with terminal port. And we are coming up with township development. So you have, and even a power plant. So these are the 4 projects under this Great Nicobar project. And here you have to see what are the criticism of this project. And this topic is important from your environment and ecology. And next topic is Supreme Court says, can you equate Article 370 with basic structure of Indian Constitution? So actually you know that in 2019 itself, on August 5th and 6th, on August 5th, 6th, 2019, here government came up with one important landmark change, that is revocation of Article 370 and Article 35A of Indian Constitution. And these articles, why they are important? Because they will be providing special category status to Jammu and Kashmir. So after this revocation, here government came up with Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act, and erstwhile state divided into 2 union territories. So here there are a number of petitions filed in Supreme Court regarding revocation of this Article 370. Some says that Article 370 forms under the basic structure of Constitution, and some says that it is a temporary provision. So we have to see whether this Article 370 comes under the basic structure of Indian Constitution or not. And one more question I want to pose before you is, so under which judgment basic structure came into picture? So under which Supreme Court judgment? The name of the case I am asking, and even year. So this basic structure doctrine came into evolution. So please let me know. And this topic is important from your polity, which comes in a GS paper too. So these are the topics now we are going to see in this lecture in the detail. So first topic, it is about making a riot. So what you have to see map of Niger and even map of Manipur, and here you have to see map of Haryana, and here you have to see which are the states sharing boundary with Haryana, and here also states sharing boundary with Manipur. And in Manipur you have to see where these cookies are present, not only in Manipur, even in other states. So you have to see in which states this cookie population is present. And apart from that, you have to understand what are the reasons for spread of communal violence. So these are the two things that you have to think. So these are the 2 points which are very important, and make a note of that. And now let us try to see what is happening. So as you all know that ethnic clashes are going on in Manipur between Metis and Kukis. So till now that issue had not been settled. You, me, everyone knows who read the newspaper. But on another side in India, that is in the northern part. So here, if you draw the map, so I am drawing a very rough map. So somewhere here we have this Haryana, right? And if you go to the north, so here somewhere we have Manipur. So on another side, here in the northeastern part of our country, yes, we are facing these clashes. And now in the northern part. So here on another side in the northeast, Manipur clashes, they have not been settled. But again, now we can see this communal clashes is going on in Haryana. So in Haryana it is between Muslims and Hindus. Here between Metis and Kukis. So this is the difference. And here in this violence, 2 home guards and 4 civilians, they were killed. And many people, they got injured in Gurugram, Sohna and Na region. So actually this clash which started in this Na region. Okay. So and even not only the loss of life, but even property had been destroyed. So here what happened here is the trigger which started when local Muslims, they pelted stones at the Hindu religious procession on July 31st. So actually in this Na region, okay, so Na region which is inhabited by Muslims. So mostly we can say it is a Muslim area. So in this Muslim area, so there is a Hindu procession happened, Hindu religious procession. So they went for a day-long yatra. Between two temples in this Muslim majority region. So because of this, what happened? Muslims, they thrown stones. So and that led to this event now. So here the yatra which has become a political event with Vishwa Hindu Parishad. So now this Vishwa Hindu Parishad is mobilizing participants from the neighboring states like Rajasthan and UP against the Muslims. So in this procession this year, so participants, they raised slogans and they carried even firearms and other weapons according to the reports. So this is the issue. And if you are talking about what are the different issues arising out of these clashes, you have to understand that. So actually this clash which erupted in this Na region, and from this Na region to Gurugram, there is a spread of these clashes. And actually in this Gurugram region, it is very much famous for the big industries, big companies. And now there is a raising of concern regarding the lack of preventive measures which is taken by the state government regarding this communal violence. And actually Chief Minister of Haryana, he referred to a conspiracy as explanation for the violence, but the state failed to prevent this conspiracy. And even from the both sides, that is from the Muslim side and from the Hindu side, they had access to the weapons. And because of this access to weapons, now it is raising a question about policy or police knowledge and action regarding these weapons. And now police in Haryana, they do not have knowledge regarding the video origin and how this video had been spread in the social media. Okay, so this is the issue. And what can be done? So what is the way forward? So if you are a future bureaucrat and if you are a IG or if you are a DSP of that so and so area, so what are the steps that you are going to take to stop this violence? So this might be the case study that you can get even in your upcoming means. So here there is no proper law. So here we need to come up with a proper law to deal with this type of situations. And whenever there is no proper law and whenever there is a rise of this communal violence in so and so area, so I said this Gurugram, it is very much important for the industries. And whenever this type of events are happening, so what will happen? What will be the impact or outcome? So the business will be affected, and it will also deter the new investment into that area, and it will be affecting our economy in the negative way, and even it will disturb the social harmony in the community. And actually we are having one opportunity, that is China plus one. So what is this China plus one opportunity? So actually many companies, many MNCs from the different countries like US, Japan, South Korea, etc. So they are moving towards China to establish their companies. Okay, but here what happened in China? They are facing some issues from the government, and there is increased labor cost. So because of this, here the companies which already present in this China, they want to come out of this China and they want to settle their branches in other countries. So in that countries, one choice they have here is India. So if you want to attract these companies to settle up their branches in India, then we can improve employment opportunities. So we can improve our contribution to the GDP, and even we can get lot of investments, lot of technology, etc. Right? So here we need to grab that opportunity. So if you want to grab that opportunity, your government need to stop this type of communal violence events. Right? And next one is government need to recognize the importance of maintaining of peace and stability in the national progress. So wherever government is recognizing, then there will be the political will. So this is about this topic. And now let us see next topic. It is about age of consent. Title says, should the age of consent be revised in India? Should the age of consent be revised in India or not? So here you have to understand what is this age of consent. So this topic is important from your polity point of view. So why it is in news? So recently one appeal made by a man. So this man who got sentence of, that is a imprisonment, okay, that is a punishment is of about 10 years of prison for maintaining a consensual relationship with a minor girl. So here man has a relationship with a girl, and this girl is a minor girl. So I am drawing a very beautiful diagram, right? So you can use this diagram also, okay? So man is having a consensual relationship with this girl, but this girl is a minor girl. So the case filed, and in this case he got an imprisonment of 10 years, and from that court he made appeal to Supreme Court now. Okay, so here Bombay High Court said that it is a high time in India regarding the consideration of reducing this age of consent for sex or not. So one big question mark before judiciary is whether we have to reduce this age of consent for girls, okay, or not. So the court pointed out that after enactment of this POCSO, that is Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act of 2012, so many adolescents being prosecuted for consensual relationship with minor girls. So why this POCSO have some relation with this consensual relationship or sex. So POCSO says that until 18 years, girls comes under children. Okay, till 18 years, girls comes under category of children. So here, whenever there is a sex by a man with this girl who is less than 18 years, then that person will be punished under this POCSO. So this is the issue that is going on. So because of this, whether we can decrease this 18 years of age or not, so it is a big question. So we're talking about age of consent. That means nothing but under this POCSO Act, it criminalizes all sexual acts among those who are under 18 years of age, whether they are giving the consent, whether they are accepting or not. Okay, so when it happens, means what happened? So the person who is having that sexual acts on that minor girl, so that person will be punished, or that person will be kept under the bars. So we're talking about what are the issues with this age of consent under this act. So it desexualizes minor girl. So the legal aspects of teenage sexuality have undergone several changes since colonial times. So here the age of consent, which increased from 10 years to 12 years. So earlier during the Britishers' time and even in the ancient time and medieval time, so we had a social evil, that is child marriages. So because of this child marriages, there are a number of social reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, they fought against this, right? So here what happened exactly is, so from British time onwards, so there are a number of changes in this age of consent. Earlier it is 10 years, now it 10 years to 12 years, 12 years to 14, 14 to 16, and now under this POCSO from 2012 onwards, so age of consent here is 18 years. So this act which ignores social reality, because even now there are a number of child marriages are happening. So whenever marriage is happening, so with this marriage it is nothing but age of consent, right? So here even after the marriage also it is criminalizing that person. So this is one important issue here. And even according to National Family Health Survey 5, it says that 39% of women had their first sex experience before turning 18. So this is a harsh reality that we can see in our society. But even the presence of this law also, yes, here girls, they are having the first sexual experience before 18 years. And the government is acting as a parents' party. That means the recent criminal law amendment in the state of Uttar Pradesh, which rubs the salt on already wounded. That means accused in the cases of rape and POCSO will not get anticipatory bail at all. And this one is, whenever we are having this type of acts and whenever there is increasing of age for the consent, then what happened? Already we are facing issues regarding the pending of cases in judiciary or in the courts. So it will further leads to increasing of number of cases in the courts, and it will also undermine the victim's privacy. So the culminative victimization of consenting girl also deserves the lawmakers' attention. So under this POCSO and the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act and Child Marriage Act, they create a complex socio-legal web. So because of this, it deprives this minor girl of rights to dignity. So here this minor girl will be losing the right to dignity, liberty, sexual and reproductive health, and it will undermine the privacy as well. So these are the issues regarding this age of consent. So let me know your opinion regarding this age of consent, whether we have to decrease it or not. So if yes, so what are the reasons, and if it is no, what are the reasons? So please let me know your genuine opinion. So try to create or try to develop your own opinion, okay? Don't depend upon any other's opinion. So think, and what you think that is correct. So please let me know your opinion. And now let us say next topic, it is regarding coup in Niger, causes and concerns. So this is about the issues regarding the government and as well as military in Niger. So here the work here is, you have to open your world map, and especially you have to open this Africa continent and see this Niger, and you have to see the countries which comes under this Sahel region. And this topic is important from your GS paper 2 under international relations. And even you can get a prelims based question, okay, from this area. So what is the thing which is going on till now? So what is the story so far? So on July 26, Niger military staged a coup, and they captured this president of this Niger. The president name is Mohamed Bazoum. So the head of Niger's presidential guard, Adorhame Chiani, I don't know how to pronounce this, so however you pronounce, you can pronounce it. So here what happened here is, Niger's presidential guard, he proclaimed himself as the head of transitional government in Niger. So the military spokesman announced that it has decided to put an end to regime because of deteriorating security, because of there is no proper security in Niger, and even bad governance process. So because of lack of security and because of bad governance, yes, this military coup happened. So this is the thing which mainly said. Okay. So this is the thing, that is the thing which is going on so far. So here the constitution also dismissed, and what of the government institutions were there, they had been suspended, and even national borders, they had been closed, because in the nearby countries, so other organizations which are working, that is other terrorist organizations, they are working. So if there is no closing of this national borders, so there is a threat that these terrorist organizations which are working in the other areas, they can come and they can conduct some terrorist activities in this Niger. So because of this, even national borders, they had been closed. So this is a story so far from July 26th onwards. So if you're talking about how has military justified the ousting of this president. So military says that there is worsening of insecurity in Niger, and Niger is also facing economic crisis. So because of this, yes, they went for ousting of this president. And if you're talking about the terrorist organizations or the groups, we have Al-Qaeda, we have Islamic State, we have Boko Haram. They're operating in the southwest near Malian and southeast near Nigerian borders. So here from this, they are facing a threat, so they have to maintain the security in the country. So this is the one important reason said by this military. And even if you see data, according to National Global Terrorism Index 2023, 198 people they died in insurgent attacks in 2022, with Niger, it is the 6th highest civilian death toll. So because of this, yes, here military coup happened, and not only these issues regarding insecurity, economic crisis, they are also facing corruption, they are also facing food insecurity, they are also facing inflation. So what is inflation? So please let me know in the comment box. And next one is, what has been the global response? So how other countries reacted? So actually this was once a French organization or French colony, and here it got independence from the French. So here United Nations, US, Germany, France, they condemned this coup. And United Nations also suspended humanitarian assistance to this Niger because of this coup. And European Union also halted all security cooperations to this Niger. And US has announced unflagging support to this president, okay, calling for him immediate release also. And even if you see from the France side, so France called for immediate reinstation of the government, and he said that here constitution should be instated, and next one here is democratically elevated civilian government should be came up. So here these are some demands from the France. So why these global communities are involved here? So what is the interest here? So here you can talk about interest of France and European Union. So France and European Union, they will be getting uranium from this Niger. So here 7% of uranium, world's uranium, it is supported by this Niger. So because of this issue and because of this closing of national borders, so these countries are going to be affected from their uranium imports. So this is the issue here. And if you're talking about the coup in this Niger, whether it is the first time, not at all. So it is not the first time the military coup in this Niger. So since it got independence in 1960, Niger experienced 4 coups and several attempted coups also seen. And latest is in 2021. In 2021, when a military group tried to take over the presidential palace days before Mr. Bazoum, who had been elected. and even sworn even had not yet been done. So there have been 5 military coups in Mali, Burkina Faso and Guinea since 2020. And all coups, they were attributed to the frustrations on incompetent authorities. So there is a frustration on incompetent authorities and also failure to stem insecurity. So they didn't take some steps to maintain security of the country. And even there is no proper economic and humanitarian crisis. So because of all these reasons, there is military coup. And these coups are also against alleged ties of unpopular authorities and corrupt elites in Western partners. So because of these coups, what happened? So here it will also leads to the bad name in the international organizations. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see the next topic. Title says, why is the biological diversity bill facing opposition? So this article which is talking about this biological diversity bill of 2021. And here you have to see what are the important provisions of this biological diversity. And here you have to see what are the changes that we are going to see with this amendment bill. And apart from that, here we have to see what are the issues. So these are some important things that you have to focus, and this topic is at most important from your mains. And this topic is important from your environment and ecology, which comes under GS paper 3. So now let us try to see context why it is in news. So now let us try to see the story so far. So actually on 1st August, Rajya Sabha passed this biological diversity bill despite of opposition. And this bill already passed in Lok Sabha, and now again in Rajya Sabha also this bill passed. And this act which aims to conserve biodiversity. So it is focusing on conserving of biodiversity, and it also want to promote sustainable use and equitable sharing of benefits. And if you are talking about the discussions during this in this Rajya Sabha, so Environment Minister, he spoke that so whenever we are coming up with these changes, so we can improve ease of doing business, and we can improve this Ayush industry, okay, with these amendments. So why these amendments or why this bill is problematic? So first one is this bill exempts about codified traditional knowledge, like which industry it is going to be sharing the benefit, and even it is denying the local communities. So local communities, they do not have the access to go and collect, right? So because of this, yes, there is some concerns raised by this people and environmentalist activists regarding this bill. So what exactly this Biodiversity Act of 2002 talks about? So it recognizes the countries, they have the right to control their biological resources, and they can regulate the access to the resources based on national legislation, and it will be focusing on managing biological resources. So what are the biological resources are there? For example, we have fauna, we have flora, etc. So we can manage them. And this act which established a 3-tier structure. So first one is we have National Biodiversity Authority at the national level. So we have at the national level, at the state level, and at the local level. So at the national level, we have National Biodiversity Authority, and at the state level, we have State Biodiversity Boards, and at the local level, we have Biodiversity Management Committees. And actually, we came up with this bill in 2001 in December, and that is Biological Diversity Amendment Bill 2021, and it introduced in Lok Sabha, and it is going to amend Biological Diversity Act of 2002. So we're talking about what are the concerns. So I did some research and I came up with a detailed concern. So first and the foremost concern is it will favor industry over conservation. So actually this bill says that we are focusing on conservation of biodiversity, but rather than conserving of biodiversity, so we are going for favoring of industries. So we are going for prioritizing industry interest rather than biological conservation. And because of this, it will go against the spirit of conservation of biodiversity. And even CBD, this conservation of biodiversity, which emphasizes sharing the benefits from the biodiversity use with the communities, but now we are prioritizing the industries rather than the communities. So this is the one issue. And next one is there is decriminalization of violations. So actually this bill proposes that here whenever there is violations, so we have only just to pay the monetary compensation. So this is also one important issue. And next one is there is exemption for domestic companies. So only foreign controlled companies, they need to seek permission for using of this biodiversity sources. But it does not talk about the indigenous companies or domestic companies. So because of this, it is one of the loophole, so that here domestic companies, they can loot or they can exploit the resources or exploit the biodiversity. And next one is there is limited benefit sharing. So there is inclusion of codified traditional knowledge which exempts certain users, including practitioners of Indian systems of medicine, from the need to share the benefits. So because of this, it is having the limited benefit sharing. And next one is there is also ignoring of conservation issues. So critics, they argue that these amendments do not adequately address the challenges faced by biodiversity conservation in India. But this bill appears to focus more on reducing the regulations, and it is focusing on facilitating the business interest, so that here our environment minister said that we are going to improve ease of doing business. So this is the one important cause of concern, because it is going to have negative impact on biodiversity and as well as traditional knowledge holders. And now I want to give you one mains question for practice. You can practice this question. That is, how is the government of India protecting traditional knowledge of medicine from patenting by pharmaceutical companies? And this question already appeared in 2019 mains. And the next topic, it is over 9 lakh trees likely to be axed. Axed means cut down for this Great Nicobar project. So here you have to know what is this Great Nicobar project. So what are those 4 projects we are going to come up, and you have to see the map of this Andaman and Nicobar Island. So this topic is important from your environment and ecology, because so Andaman and Nicobar, so we have evergreen forest there, and actually we will be getting good conventional rainfall in this Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And even there are a number of indigenous tribes, they will be living in this Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So whenever we are coming up with this infrastructure projects or development projects, what will be the impact? So there is a negative impact on the people who are living there, that is indigenous tribes, and next one is to the environment and ecology. Okay, so now let us try to see each and everything in detail. So if you see context here, center has ambitious Great Nicobar development project with the cost here is like rupees 72,000 crore. And actually here environment minister says that not 8.5 lakh but 9.64 lakh of trees, they have to be cut down for the construction of this Great Nicobar project. So this is the thing which mainly said. And if you're talking about this Great Nicobar project, which is likely to come up over 130 square kilometers of pristine forest, that is old age forest. And this was challenged in this National Green Tribunal, following which it set up an expert committee in April to investigate into the aspects of clearance. So if you're talking about the map here, this is Andaman and Nicobar Island. So this is Andaman. So in this Andaman, here we have North Andaman, Middle Andaman, Lower Andaman and Little Andaman. And here we have 10 here we have 11 degree north channel, and here we have 10 degree north channel. Here we have Nicobar Islands. So in Nicobar, here we have Car Nicobar, here we have Little Nicobar, here we have Great Nicobar. So these are some important things that you have to see. And where exactly we are going to have these developmental projects in this Nicobar? So here in this Greater Nicobar, we have this project. So first and the foremost thing here is, here we have International Container Transshipment Terminal, and here, okay, here we are going to have, here we are going to have this township and area development, and here we are going to have international airport, and here we are going to have the power plant. And here if you see this green color, here we have this Galathea National Park, here we have Campbell Bay National Park. So this is the Great Nicobar Island. So if you're talking about some facts regarding this Great Nicobar Island project, so this project is a mega project, and it is to be implemented in the southern end of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And this project, which includes international air container transshipment terminal and we have Greenfield International Airport, we have township development, etc., and even power plant. So what are the issues? The first and the foremost thing is it will be having negative impact on biodiversity, because here we can see turtles, here we can see the dolphins and other species. They will be harmed by the dredging process. And even this project which have several criticism, because there is going to be the adverse impact on the biodiversity of this region. And even this project which comes under the part of coastal regulation zone 1A and 1B, so where there is no clearances will be given, but even though they are going for this project in this area, and there is lack of adequate assessment. So critics, they claim that only one season data has been taken, and also opposed to the requirement of taking data for these 3 seasons for comprehensive impact assessment and environment impact assessment reports. They were not conducted as per the terms of reference. And next one is there is also impact on the tree cover and mangroves. So there will be the loss of tree cover, that is about 9.64 lakhs, and it will be affecting the flora and fauna. And even whenever the tree is removed, so for example, if there is a tree here, so the roots will be going into the inside the soil, so that the soil will be held tightly by this tree. So if this tree is uprooted, means what happened? So whatever the soil which is present, so that will be drained into the nearby water. So whenever there is a runoff of the soil is happening, that will lead to the increasing of turbidity of water. So if there is any coral reef which is present in this region, because of this increased turbidity, so they will die. So this is also one important issue. And even there is also one more issue, that is encroachment of tribal spaces. So we are having particularly vulnerable tribal groups in this region. So because of this, what happened, development projects, that will lead to the encroachment of this tribal spaces. And now let us see some prelims based questions which already appeared in UPSC. So which of the following pairs of islands is separated from each other by 10-degree channel? So please let me know answer in the comment box. And next one is, which of the following have coral reefs? So please let me know the answer for this question also in the comment box. And next article, it is about Supreme Court, can you equate Article 370 with basic structure or not? So I already gave you the idea regarding what is this basic structure, and I also asked you in which famous case there is a birth of this basic structure concept. So we're talking about context. It says that the Supreme Court on Thursday asked whether Article 370, which gave special category status to Jammu and Kashmir, is being equated with the basic structure or not. So a constitution bench which led by Chief Justice that is Chandrachud, he was reacting to the senior advocate Kapil Sibal's submission that there was no constitutional process available to revoke this Article 370, and the provision had attained a permanent character. So this provision is a permanent character. In our Indian Constitution, there is no process of revoking of this Article 370. So this is the thing which is said by this advocate. So if we're talking about this abrogation of this Article 370, so it is a purely political act. So this thing which mainly made by this so and so person. So if we're talking about some facts regarding this Article 370 of Indian Constitution, so which is a part of section called as temporary, transitional and special provisions. And this 370 article deals with the special status of Jammu and Kashmir, and it has been a disputed territory since the partition of India from 1947 onwards. And according to this Article 370 subclass 3, so President of India can declare that Article 370 is no longer valid or it does not apply to any some of the changes from the certain due. So it is a power which is vested with the President. So this is also very important fact. So but before doing so, here President has to get the approval from the Constituent Assembly. But the issue with this Jammu and Kashmir is there is no Constituent Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir. So it had been dissolved in 1957. So this is one important issue regarding this Jammu and Kashmir issue. So this is about this topic, and I hope it is very much clear. And now I want to make a small announcement. So we in Rathod Science, we came up with this daily mains answer writing course for the beginners and the students who already gave their attempt, who are having this issue with answer writing skills. So if you want to improve this mains answer writing skills, so it is utmost important to clear your mains. So come and join us in this daily mains answer writing course. And here in this course, we are offering each and every subject. So we are going to revise each and every subject, and we are going to give you the questions based on GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4 along with case study and essay. So daily one question will be provided, so it will be not a burden on you to write a single question, single answer. And we also provide the model answer for each and every question, and also detailed evaluation of answers. So one student asked me the question that whether we can write answer by after reading the model answer. So initially you will be facing issue regarding what content you should add and what should be the introduction, conclusion. So that time, so you can refer the model answer and you can write the answer. So first try to come out of the inertia that you had regarding this mains answer writing. So once you come out, then automatically ideas will be generated in your brain such that you can improve your mains answer writing skills. And here we are going to have this live doubt clearance session on every Sunday. And the cost of this course is 8,200 for 1 year. It is very less when you are comparing with that of others. And you can enroll this course by entering or visiting into our website, that is rathodsacademy.com. And if you have any queries, please call me on this number, that is 8074765513. And even if you have any queries, you can text me on this number on WhatsApp and Telegram. So now let us try to see the today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So this is our today's Hindu, date is August 4th and today is Friday. So first topic, it is about government imposes curbs on import of laptops and tablets. So here we are going to have the new regulations which are required for the import licenses with immediate effect, and it will going to hit short-term availability of Dell, HP, Apple laptops, and we are going to boost the domestic sector. And next topic is about over 9 lakh trees they are likely to be accessed for this greater Nicobar project. I discussed this. And next one is save the children losses in FCRA permit. So I discussed it as FCRA. So here you can see what is FCRA. And next topic is about Supreme Court can you equate Article 370 with basic structure. So I also discussed this topic. And if you move on to the states page, you can see dengue cases are increasing not only in Tripura but even across the India. So be careful and try to avoid the mosquitoes and try to see whether you are bitten by the mosquito in the daytime or not. So daytime biting of mosquito which leads to dengue, and it is caused by Aedes aegypti mosquito. And next one is about 19 MLAs, 10 MPs they caught for traffic offences by AI cameras. So here you can add about one more important application of AI, that is AI can be used in the camera so that we can identify the people who did the crime. And if you move on in this editorial page, so I discussed this topic regarding making a riot, and I discussed this topic regarding evidence-based and ethics-driven medicine. So actually this article is not much important from UPSC, but if you are from homeopathy or if you are from medicine background, so you have to know this. So go through this article. And next topic is about age of consent. I discussed in text and context. I discussed about the coup in Niger and as well as biological diversity bill. And if you move forward in this page number 14, you can see Minister of External Affairs hopes for normalcy in National Capital Region ahead of G20 meet. Okay, so this article is very important and go through this article once. And next one is experts go back on letter raising concern over the cheetah death. So here we have to focus on what is this cheetah reintroduction project. And this one is Article 370 was a compact entered between two sovereigns, says Sibal. So you have to see what is Article 370 that I discussed. And in this page number 15, you can see amid row data protection bill table. So here you have to see whether it will be passed or not. And next one is endangered Himalayan vulture bred in captivity for the first time in India. So here you have to see what are the conservation efforts taken by the government for the conservation of these vultures. And in business page, you can see services purchasing managers index hit 13-year high in July, lifted by the export surge. So here you have to see what is PMI, okay, that is purchasing managers index, and which organization is releasing that index, and you have to see what is the impact of this PMI. So these are some important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. By this I'm concluding. So if you really like this video, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, and try to share this video to your friends. So thank you so much.